I love this guitar. Today I'm going back to something I started before that super long break that I took from YouTube, and just going through my guitar collection and showing a few of the pieces because I think they're cool, and it's a broad spectrum of guitars that I have, so I just want to share them with you guys. This is my dream guitar when I was about 12 years old, I'd say. This is a 1992 Gibson Les Paul Special, and just want to talk a little bit about it. It's a really cool guitar. The Les Paul Special was created in the 50s after the Gold Top had been released, and there was the Les Paul Jr., which was like the bargain version, and then the Gold Top was the fancy version. Then they released the Special, which was in between the two, so it was more affordable, but it had some more upscale features. So starting at the headstock, one of those special features was the Gibson logo that was mother of pearl. I guess on the Les Paul Jr. it was just like printed on there. So this was, you know, something fancy, that pretty mother of pearl Gibson logo there. About a day after I got this guitar, I dropped it on the concrete in the garage and put this little ding right here in it, and I freaked out for a second, but then I was like, well, no other damage was done. It's a great guitar. I dropped it on the concrete from like waist level, and it was fine. So I just gave it a little bit of character. On the back, we've got Grover tuners. Another one of the special features on this guitar is it's got a neck binding. That's pretty nice. This is a really well-made guitar, and something you see on more expensive models, Les Paul usually, but this one has a binding. Rosewood fretboard. I guess these are nickel frets, but don't quote me on that. If anybody else knows for sure, that's cool, let me know. Of course, it's got a 22 fret neck. You may notice here at the neck joint, there is this little lip that sticks out right past the neck on the cutaway here. And it's actually not a factory defect. It was done that way on purpose because of the particular shape of the neck itself, that joint in there. It needs to have support on three sides. So there's wood here, wood behind it, and wood over here. And it squeezes in there, and they glue it in there, and it's nice and sturdy and supported. Obviously, you can drop it on concrete, and it won't hurt it. Moving on, we have the pickups. A lot of people mistake these for P90s, and I did for a long time until I did a little research and realized they're not P90s. These are actually P100s. P100s are stacked humbuckers. P90s are actually single coil pickups. Something unique about them though is that they're wired in parallel rather than in series. In a traditional humbucker, the coils are wired in series. It takes away some of the higher end frequencies. These retain some of those high frequencies because of that wiring. But it does have that same soap bar cover over it, and they're commonly mistaken for P90s, but they are P100s. Very cool. There's a volume and a tone for each pickup. You've got the traditional three-way toggle switch up here that you see on all Les Pauls. And you've got the tune-o-matic bridge and the stop bar tailpiece. Now this is a tobacco sunburst finish, so it's kind of like just black, and it fades into this bouillon color. When I first laid eyes on this guitar, I was 11 or 12, and I was obsessed with Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. So all I wanted in the whole wide world was a Les Paul like Jimmy Page's. This is what was around in the small town I grew up in East Texas. A store called Love All Music, and I think they're still there, but it's in a different location now. Something else that differs from like the Les Paul standard is that it's just a flat, solid piece of mahogany. And you know, the more high-end Les Pauls have that carved top, separate piece that goes over it. So this doesn't have that, which also makes it weigh a little bit less, which is a nice thing. But when I first saw this, I freaked out, and I was just like, man, if I just had that, I could be Jimmy Page in my mind. My parents helped me put it on layaway at the store, and at that time my income consisted of like a couple of bucks here and there for like mowing the yard and doing various chores and stuff like that. And every couple of weeks or month I'd come in, put 5 or 10, maybe 20 bucks down on it, and I thought I was really doing something. I was really making gains. But it was a great learning experience to just learn the value of saving money and taking your time. And you can't just get a quick reward. You have to pay it off over time. And it kind of helped me learn the value of just work and money and everything. So shout out to my parents for helping me learn that valuable lesson. Now, when Christmas rolled around that year, once again, my awesome parents went and they paid the balance on the layaway, got it out of layaway. So really, they probably paid like 99% of the price of this guitar. The little few bucks I was putting down really didn't amount to much, but I didn't realize that at the time, and I thought, yeah, I've paid like half the price of this guitar probably. I did really good, but I didn't really, but still, good lesson learned. So I got that guitar, and then I was, that was it. I was Jimmy Page all day in my bedroom. It's kind of funny, as the years went by and I got into heavier and heavier music, I started having issues with the feedback. These pickups, because of that high-end frequency that they retain, because of the way they're wired, they really didn't get along well with super high gain amp settings, and they would get a really bad squeal, kind of feedback, but it was more just like this squeal that was persistent, and you just had to turn it down. And at one point I took this back plate off and I put foil tape on it. It's like aluminum foil on one side and tape on the other, and I had read somewhere that would help with feedback on guitars. It did almost no good in solving that problem. It's just not meant for really high gain stuff, but I cut my teeth on a lot of Pantera songs and Megadeth guitar solos and stuff like that before that guitar came along and ruined everything. But other than that, it was a great playing guitar. And then as the years went by, I ended up in college at the University of North Texas working on a jazz degree, and I rediscovered this guitar, and I was like, man, that's probably a perfect guitar for playing jazz. And so I strung it up with 12 gauge strings, and these strings are so heavy it actually has a wound G string, which is not normal on electric guitars, I don't think, except in the heavier gauges. But I went so heavy that I had to have a wound G string. Over time, I kind of figured it out, and it worked great for that, as you can tell. Just for these kind of sound, it sounds great. Just a great mellow sounding guitar, and it gets kind of twangy when you go over here to the bridge pickup. I don't really use it for that sort of stuff much, but it does get a decent little twangy sound. It also has a great just kind of throaty mid-gain sound for like blues and some rock, so I'll go over here and set it on something different so you can kind of hear how it sounds with some gain on it. So I changed the setting over there on my Helix and got a more of a, not super high gain sound. Really nice. Middle position. And of course I love how the neck pickup sounds. Still not quite used to playing the 12s on this thing like I used to be, but they sound pretty good. You can really dig in with those 12s. Yeah, this guitar is just a very special guitar in my collection. It's a 92 model. So, and the way you can tell that is you look on the back of the headstock, and you get the 1st and 5th numbers in the serial number, and it's a 9 is the first one and the 2 is the 5th one. So 92 is when this guitar was built. So it's kind of a modern classic in my opinion anyway. Very special to me. I would never get rid of this guitar, so don't even ask. I'll probably do some more videos on some more of my guitars, so get ready. I'll show you something else kind of cool about this guitar. In the case, the original case that it came with, when you open it up and get in here, this little compartment, I have two things here, two keepsakes I guess I forgot about. One is this name tag type business card that my buddy Thomas made when we had a little band. Tony Campanovo lead guitar. You know, whatever when you're 12 years old, that kind of thing probably seems really cool. But this is really cool too. I still have this picture of Jimmy Page pulled out of a guitar magazine that was stuck on the inside of my locker in middle school. So it's still in there, folded up and protected. It's just like, it's like a time capsule. It's really cool. It brings back a lot of memories. You know, cases kind of retain that smell that they have when they're new, and so it's kind of cool. It always kind of just brings back a memory of that Christmas. So good memories, good times. Hope you guys enjoyed this little miniature tour of another one of my guitars. So stay tuned. I'll do some more of these. Let me know if you enjoyed this in the comments. Give me a subscribe and a like and all that good stuff. Check me out on Instagram. Let me know if any of this other stuff looks interesting. This is not all of my guitars, but you know, I'll probably do one on this Jackson soon. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.